I'm Chef Frank, this is Protocooks, and today we're making a Cuban sandwich. This is what you're gonna need for my Cuban sandwich. Swiss cheese, pickles, dill pickles, soft squishy bread, butter, mustard, roast pork, and ham. Before we assemble and cook these sandwiches, I wanna highlight some of the ingredients. Let's talk about the mustard. Traditionally, a Cubano or a Cuban sandwich has yellow mustard. I like yellow mustard, I don't love it, and I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate for this, but I want to use a Dijon mustard. I think the flavor's better, I think it's not as strong, and it just adds so much more to the sandwich. One of the other key ingredients for a Cuban sandwich is pickles. Now, I might get a little hate for this as well, but I like little mini pickles. I've seen a lot of Cubans that use like a deli ham, like sliced on the slicer, and that's fine, but I choose to do something a little different here. I usually buy a spiral ham for this. I like the spiral ham, it has a little bit of sweetness on the outside. The slice is a little thicker, it's a little bit smokier, and I feel like it just adds more to the sandwich. All right, our pork roast is done, right? Look at it, and this is why I leave the skin on, look at that. Now that the pork is rested for a little while, I'm going to slice what I need. And now I'm just gonna slice. Go as thin as you possibly humanly can, almost shredding it. It's time to assemble our Cubans, and I'm gonna do this in assembly line style like we would in a restaurant. So we'll cut our bread in half, close to me, and the other matching top across. A little bit of mustard, right? On both sides. And I'm using the Dijon, like I said. And then I put the cheese. This is key, right? I want to put the cheese on, touching the bread, right? Because this is the thing that we want to melt. So I'm going to put the cheese on each side of the bread. And the cheese is kind of the glue that's going to hold it together. So I'm only using about a slice and a half for each sandwich. Then I'm going to put my ham on. And I'm trying to make everything kind of fit within the sandwich. Right, we don't want this to be overly thick. Ham is on, okay? And then I'm gonna use my roasted pork. The roast pork's a little pink, don't worry about it. Everyone's worried about pork being a little pink. The sandwich is not only gonna cook a little more, but a little pink in your pork is okay. It means that it's juicy and it's not overly like dry. Next we're gonna do our pickles. And again, with the pickles, you see these little slices. I try and like stud it all around so that we're gonna get nice little bites of pickles rather than that long, slimy, kind of slippery piece. I don't like it. I don't like it. And now you just take your top, fold it over. Top, fold it over, and fold it over. And our sandwiches are basically ready to go. It's time to cook our Cubans. And today I'm going to use a cast iron skillet with like a baking pan for cakes, right? Because it fits really well in there. Preheat your pan, especially if you're using this cast iron pan. I'm using softened butter, so what I'm gonna do is take my softened butter all over the outside, turn it over, get it on the bottom too. All right, and this goes right into the pan. I'm gonna do 2 sandwiches at a time here. Okay, this goes in. And we get our pan and we press. Squish it down real good. One of the other things some people use is a panini press. Now traditionally, a Cuban sandwich does not have lines on it, right? But if that's all you have is like a George Foreman grill or a panini press, go for it. Turn it over. And I don't want this sandwich to be greasy, right? I just put a little nice scraping of butter on top, right? But look. Getting nice and crisp. If you look in here, come in here. Look at the cheese, it's melting, right? Look at that. And we get that little piece of fried cheese on the outside. That is, oh my gosh. That crispy cheese that comes out is probably the best thing ever. Okay, we're getting nice and crispy there. I'm gonna give it another minute and then we're good to go. We're gonna cut it and taste it. All right, let's get them and cut them. I'm just gonna cut one for now. Nice and crispy. Hear that? Traditionally, you'll see a Cuban sandwich cut on a severe diagonal. Do you need a bread knife for this? No. As long as you have a sharp knife, you don't need a bread knife. Look how beautiful that is. Little pieces of pickle. Our cheese is melty. You can see our ham and our roast pork. And it's not overstuffed. We don't want this to be an overstuffed sandwich. This is like the perfect size. Okay, let's give it a try. I'd like to say absolutely delicious, but I say that too much. I'd like to say this is a solid solid Cuban sandwich. This sandwich hits all the notes. You have to make it at home. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give us the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. We have merch in the description down below. Our address is down there as well. I want to thank all my patrons on Patreon for supporting us. Thank you guys so much. And that is my Cuban sandwich. I'm Chef Frank. This is Proto Cooks. Have a good one.